city of Jaffa or Joppa. This is what? Oh, okay.
We'll be recording
Everything.
this one.
Everything that I'm going to say is going to be used against me. Okay, so we are on the top of the old historical hill of Joppa. This is what we call in Hebrew Tel. Tel is the hill of archaeology. Layers upon layers, okay, like a lasagna or like a layer cake, of different cities, different civilizations, different people that live here and build a city, okay? Israel is probably the most famous in archaeology for those tales, for those hills of archaeology. We're going to see many of them in the next tour. Jaffa is one of the most important one of the oldest one. Each of those can have 30 or 40 different layers, okay? Up to 30 or 40 different layers, different civilization that build a city in the same location. And Jaffa, as I told you, is one of the oldest cities in the world. The people that lived here very long time ago even had a legend where the name Jaffa is coming from. They said the name is coming from the builder of the city, and they say, remember, there is one guy that he was a righteous man in his time, and God decided to destroy the world because everyone else was sinners. This guy had 3 sons, and it was up to them to repopulate the world. One of his sons' name was Jaffa. So people that live here very long time ago said Jaffa built the city. Maybe it's not really Jaffa that built the city, but it's to tell us how old the city is. They dated it to the first city that was built after the flood. Okay? So the city itself is very, very old. And if you want the story of Israel, this city witnessed it all. It witnessed all the biblical events. Okay? It witnessed all the wars between Jews and Romans. It witnessed all the war between Christians and Muslims, the Crusaders and others, and it witnessed the war between the Jews and the Arabs. Okay? So Jaffa have seen it all. On the other hand, we can look over there and we can see completely different skyline. This is modern, this is vibrant. Okay? We can see skyscrapers and we can see that they keep building and building and building. This is the new city Tel Aviv. But the name of the city Tel Aviv is very misleading. We're going to visit it next. The guy that built Tel Aviv, I don't know if you heard about him, his name was Theodor Herzl. Well, he's not really the one that built Tel Aviv, but it gave Tel Aviv its name. In a minute we'll see now how. Theodor Herzl, I'll mention him later on today. He had a vision about how the Jews are going to rebuild the world, and he wrote a book. Okay? And his book was originally written in German. He called it Alt Neuland, Old New Land. His idea to the old land, what is going to be new, how to renew the old land of the Jews. When they had to translate the name of the book to Hebrew, they say something old is the Tel. Remember the layers of archaeology? Something new is spring, Aviv. So they named the book Tel Aviv, and few years later the city was built and they named the city after the book. Okay, it's the first city that was named after a book. And the meaning of Tel Aviv is old, new. Old and new. And I always tell people, if you want to have a tour, a pilgrim in the Holy Land, you must understand you cannot have one without the other. It's a fusion. And we're going to see it. As we are standing over here, we can see this fusion of old, of traditional, of historical, and we cannot ignore the new. What's happening today in God's land? We can talk about the economy, and we can talk about the startup nation and the politic. No one likes to talk politics, but we maybe will have to, okay? And it's all come together. You cannot separate them, okay? And from here we can see it very, very clearly. It's one city, Tel Aviv Yafo in Hebrew, Tel Aviv Joppa, the name of the city, okay? And we need to understand both when we are here to have a experience of the Holy Land. So this is why I love starting the tours over here. Okay? So this is one thing that I wanted to say. The other thing that I want to say, we're going to see it later on as we go into the port. Joppa was the port to the Holy Land. There was no Ben Gurion airport. People that wanted to visit will arrive to this port and through this port. And we're going to see a lot of piece of art in Joppa. And this is one of the most famous one. This is called the gate, the Abrahamic gate. And it's dedicated to the three main religions. Okay, and we can see over there stories of people on the Holy Land. We can see already looking at us. What do you see looking at us? What is on the base of the pillar over there? Like a goat, this is a ram. This is the binding of Isaac. We can see the ram that is holding in the bush. Okay. On the other hand, we'll see Jacob dream about the ladders of angels climbing up and down from earth, and on the top we can see the Israelite walking around the walls of Jericho. Okay, so the artist decided to put it over here as a gate, okay, for people to come and live the land.